All right, guys, here we're going to talk about Season 5, Episode 23 of The Twilight Zone. So this had a concept I could at least get behind.
Yeah, the premise was okay compared to, like, we've been in, like, a lull. We've been in, like, a bad time. So I didn't love this one, but I thought it was, like, you know.
It at least gave me something to think about. A lot of episodes, I'm like, I've got nothing here. I can't put myself in this position. I don't know what's happening.
I think the biggest suffering here is that the plot of this movie, the plot of this episode is like so many movies and like other things.
Well, yeah, like, they all ripped this, I presume.
I don't know. This was. I don't even know if this was the first or only one. If this is like an ancient story that people keep retelling.
If I track back in time to the oldest thing I've ever seen doing this, this would probably be that.
Most likely, yeah.
But yeah, this is like directly a. It reminded me of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, or some movies have done things like this.
You've seen this episode, hopefully. It's Cleopatra sucking the life out of hapless men that she encounters to be a famous actress forever. That sounds dumber than it is when you say it like that. Yeah. But in like the first scene, he's like, 1940, interesting. And I'm like, it's death becomes her, she's living forever, it's some weird thing. And then it like cuts to like a picture of Set or something. Like I could jump like, okay, it's a jet. And then they show, I'm like, okay, I bet.
Hundreds of Egyptian things all around the house.
Yeah,
this is honestly almost a worse episode of a previous Twilight Zone episode. The one with the guy who wanted to marry the girl and his dad like lived forever or whatever. And he had like trinkets from the war and this and that.
What?
Do you remember that?
No, what?
That was an episode.
Trinkets from the war.
He had a ring that like let him live forever. Wasn't that his thing?
Oh, and he kept like moving. Okay. He was a professor, and and at the end there's a similar scene in that, only worse here, where they do the weird chroma black and white key trick where his face gets weird for a minute, but then it gets schmeary, fake, I think worse fake, like skeleton
that just like the jaw just like pops.
Just falls apart, all weird. Because she has a little scarab beetle, and she hides like behind a plant, and then like puts
like
it on.
An actual beetle. Like it's weird. It's not like a magic. Like I guess it is a magical beetle.
Yes, it's something. Yes.
It's not like I stab you with the knife of Ra, or like something that I'd be like
And earlier, her daughter, you find out that this old woman is her daughter, not her mother. Is like it's all because of this beetle. And then it's because of another beetle. It's like 10 feet away from that beetle. It's very like, it's fine. Yeah. But the main reason that I liked this episode more than other recent ones is because like the like bad guys win or something like that. It's not one of those stupid things where it's like, oh, today's the day it all falls apart. It's the opposite, where it's like we're trapped like this forever. This horrible thing. Because her daughter has to like dispose of these remains, and like you see like there's another dude like right there. She's like cranking through the this soul juice that she's like sucking the beetle or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, damn.
I love there's a part where he's like an investigative reporter and he calls back to like home base. He's like, do you have a picture of blah blah? Yes. And this? Like pre-internet just has a Rolodex with all these photos.
Yeah. He calls his boss Mr. Mustache or whatever from like Mustachio. I don't even know if he has a mustache.
He didn't. I don't think
he did either. But yeah, so like the scene today where the person pulls up the thing and they go like, oh my God, it's the same. Was literally him be like, and do they look the same? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, kind of. And he's like, okay.
Like, they're playing the same part. They have the same makeup, so it's hard to say.
Exactly, yeah.
But yes.
But yeah. No, but like, just like, and how did they look? Like, that's such a weird version of that trope where they go to the library and they find the old book.
Yeah,
and
it's a black and white photograph.
This is an old oil painting of Count whoever, Count Dooku from the local whatever. It's like, it is the guy. And someone like puts their hand over his weird hat and it's like, look at him.
Same ring or the same necklace.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at the symbol. It's the same guy.
It is Keanu Reeves.
It is Keanu Reeves. Or Peter Dinklage. Or Anne Hathaway. And yes, it's like...
Is there a Peter Dinklage one? I've not seen that one. Oh.
Well, there's an old painting, I think, of like a Peter Dinklage-y looking dude. And I think Anne Hathaway's wife looks like Shakespeare, kind of. And Shakespeare was married to a woman named Anne Hathaway. You're like, you're not even trying anymore. This is horrible.
I like Anne Hathaway's wife looks like Shakespeare.
Oh, it's a husband, sorry.
Okay, I don't know enough about Anne Hathaway to know if that was wrong or not. So I was like, wow. I'm like, that would be an interesting thing, though.
I was too deep in the whole thing, yes.
If Shakespeare was a lady all along.
Was gender bending the whole time. They should do that in one of these things.
That wouldn't be so bad. About like every couple of generations, you gotta switch it up.
Tilda Swinton's already doing that. David Bowie. Yeah. But no, that's like the interesting stuff, because like you said earlier, this gets you thinking about, if I lived forever, would I fake my death originally as Cleopatra and then continue to fake my death all the way up until the 20s and just live out these 30-year slices and change up who I am, be an actress, be a weirdo,
I'm not sure what especially like this ended in a time where you still probably could have done this stuff.
Yeah, it gets harder.
I don't know what the best way would be. Like, I'd probably be honestly to live like in the middle of nowhere and just a large chunk of property from the money you've.
Who's that? I want to say Satoichi. That's the blind swordsman. Who's the Bitcoin guy?
Oh,
Satoshi
Yahoo.
Yeah. So like that's what you got. The Yin Yang Twins. That's what you got to be. Is like some weird internet like who and some like it's like I just represent an idea or something like that.
Yeah, because I don't even know how you could do that now.
Some weird thing.
Because like if land is owned by somebody, they have to keep at some point presenting whatever. And at like 200 years, they'd be like, "Excuse me."
Create a series of shell corporations and charities and filter the money through.
But I guess if you lived in like the mountains, you could potentially be born on your own property at the age of like 30 or whatever, whatever age you are permanently.
Right.
Be like, I was born up here. I never got a birth certificate. My dad, blah, blah. And now, like, he's dead. I want to go get a real job.
80-year-old man at the county clerk's office. You look just like Timothy. And you're like, weird. Can I have the paperwork, please?
I am his son.
I am his son. Yeah, my mom always said I was a spitting image of him. I never met him. He passed away. Oh, it's tragic. You do a whole thing. And then just do that every 100 years. Yeah.
Or you could move to a country that has like castles and fucking shit where you're just like, that's private property. We shoot you. No laws.
I think that you could make it work, and I think several people are. Here's my here's my outlined plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like own an island.
Yeah. No, like I think being obscenely rich, using corporations, using weird stuff like that, and then playing the ground game the way we're talking about, where it's been so long, or you're in a whole different place, you're just like Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like
a challenge I'd be up for.
It's different too if you're the only one, or if this is something different people can do, because you can be part of like I don't know. Let's just call it the Illuminati. You could be part of a network that like does this.
And of course you could
live
out. Under the radar very easily.
Very much so.
in cash-owned properties, you're renting this and that. And potentially you wouldn't ever have to work if you were alive for so long.
You just like amass wealth, so you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
You have old gold things, jade things from whatever.
Random crap you owned, like if you're a hoarder anyway, just selling random things that are 3, 4, 5, 7,000 years old. I'm sure you'd make a little bit of money.
Yeah, and that orb that gave you all the knowledge was helping you. No, it's it's an interesting. I think it's more possible than like we think or something like that, and it would not be a challenge maybe at all. Like she's playing a very dangerous game, wanting to be an actress and all that stuff, and that's how usually these things go, where they're somehow like in these stories, there's like a way to find out or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's like here, like you said, he's like an investigative reporter, so he comes in like trying to figure out this mystery from like the very beginning. That's
I don't even know why he had a mystery though. Like did they go into that enough? It just started right in the middle of the mystery. There was no like I got an anonymous tip from her daughter maybe.
I took it like he was literally there for that.
That's what it seemed like, but that
from the
seems
very
goofy.
I like it because usually there's some other dumb reason, like the Count of whoever has a thing, and wait a minute, the legend of the thing. And he's just like, that's the same bitch, and then tries to go, and he does. He has a folder. He's like, I figured this out, and all that stuff. And not until I really thought he was gonna like pretend to drink the coffee, or it was gonna end in some like other way. But like I said, I like when like the because this lets you think like, well, she is kind of doing it kind of dumbly. She's probably been like caught before, and she's like, cup of coffee, like whatever, and like has taken care of it every time.
I like when the bad guy wins in quotes, and I like, especially when it was like a creature feature horror thing, like the eggs, they're gonna take over the whole world. I'm like, let's see that.
Let's do that.
Let's see that. You never get that.
Yeah, well, because it starts to feel fake because you're like, we have to stop the eggs from hatching. I'm like, they have no way of stopping the eggs from hatching.
Yes.
And then a guy with 1 can of gas and a Zippo, suddenly now the eggs are fine. You're like, okay, fine.
Like the end of Ghost of Mars.
Oh!
I like that because like they lost.
I forget the end of Ghost of Mars.
They lost.
What happens? The Ghost of Mars win?
They get off of Mars where like, it's like, everyone has been invaded and becomes those weird mutilating themselves zombie people.
Yeah.
And then they're on I don't know if it's Earth or whatever planet they go to, and it's happening there. Like,
Okay.
Ah!
So the Ghosts of Mars became the Ghosts, the sequel, the Ghosts of Earth.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot exactly who survived to be in that sequel, but I don't think it was any of the good. Did Jason Statham survive?
Not Clea Duvernay or whatever her name
Clea
is.
Duvall.
Duvall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like her. She's dead.
She's dead. Yeah, I like
In
her
that
too.
movie.
The Faculty, right?
Faculty, yeah.
Yeah.
Faculty, but I'm a cheerleader. She was in Heroes. She's good.
Yes. End of the day here, I like how Rod mercifully doesn't say Cleopatra. But it's Cleopatra, right?
Yes.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
She's a superhero on a team of people, and it's like, what's your power? I'm Cleopatra. What the fuck? How? And all that stuff. Okay, here we go. The thing.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't hate that.
In like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, we've got a
You got Cleopatra, you got a reptile man, you got
vampire, werewolf, we got a guy, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Cleopatra. She's like, what? Like whatever, just hanging out. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah, but he never actually says it, which I think is great. That way he doesn't get sued by Cleopatra's estate.
Sure. I'm sure that was indeed their plan.
Very conscious of that. No, sometimes he like wraps it up and says like, I'm trying to tell you, you people, and he just says everything. So here it was like something from a long time ago or something fucking like that, and you're like, okay, thanks, Rod.
Yeah, so a decent episode. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.